What's going on, y'all? Worth Fabian. We are back with a video, man. When doing a reaction, deadly weekend and train attack fuel backlash over Chicago crime strategy. Let's go to hop into this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comment section.
All right, honing in on Blue City crime as Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy identifies the Chicago train victim as 26-year-old Bethany McGee, who now suffers from severe burns after police say she was set on fire by a career criminal. Secretary Duffy slamming the city's soft on crime policies for allowing this tragedy to occur, writing, quote, "This would never have happened if this thug had been behind bars, yet Chicago lets repeat offenders roam the streets. Chicago's carelessness is putting the American people at risk. No one should ever have to fear for their life on the subway." This announcement following more violence in the Windy City as one teenager was killed and another 8 were wounded during 2 separate shootings on Friday night. Chicago-based journalist William Kelly joins me now. William, thanks for joining us. You know, things are always bad in Chicago, but it seems to be really bad when it comes to violence right now. Is that true?
God bless you, Carly. Well, I can just say this. Thank God you're not in Chicago right now, because I wouldn't be able to guarantee that you would not be set on fire due to.
Whoa. Dude hit it with the extreme, but he ain't lying, For them to even say Chicago's one of the leading cities with their leniency on repeat offenders, right? To where they probably have one of the highest rates of, from a statistical perspective, of repeat offenders continuously committing crimes or being double booked, so to speak, man, which is a very sad thing. Uh, I don't know. I think my first glance or first insight into how lenient Chicago is when it came to that Josie Smollett case, dude from Power who had falsified his kidnapping and a hate crime and stuff like that. It got a first-hand glance into pretty much the prosecution, right, and how they may not tend to naturally pursue a lot of offenders just depending on what crime, but very lenient, very slap on the hand type of judicial system or judicial court.
Mayor Brandon Johnson's policies, his policies that are rooted in a hatred for law enforcement. When he was a candidate, he said he wanted to defund the police. I was the only journalist that actually called him out on it before the election. It's a very sad situation in Carly. As somebody who was born and raised in the city of Chicago, as somebody who loves Chicago with all of his heart, it breaks my heart to see what these policies are doing to the real people of Chicago, the law-abiding citizens, the good people of Chicago, Carly.
Yeah, like this young girl who's now suffering severe burns after just riding the train. And this horrific attack,
Yes.
by the way, the suspect had been arrested 72 prior times. And over the weekend, President Trump posted on Truth Social that people are chanting, "Bring in Trump." What do you think about that? I mean, obviously Chicago is a liberal city, so that would be pretty surprising. But what are people saying about this?
Well, the real people, including black and brown people who talk to me every single day, say that they are horrified by this. Brandon Johnson says to this day, right to this very moment, he says that law enforcement is a sickness, that incarcerating repeat violent offenders who, quote, look like him, as in his own words, who look like him, is a sickness. The only sickness in Chicago is Mayor Brandon Johnson's policies.
I'm confused. What's the sickness? I'm confused at what he was referring to the sickness as being. Holding repeat offenders accountable? I'm confused.
Sickness, that incarcerated are horrified by this. Brandon Johnson says to this day, right to this very moment, he says that law enforcement is a sickness, that incarcerating repeat violent offenders who, quote, look like him, as in his own words, who look like him, is a sickness. The only sickness in Chicago is Mayor Brandon Johnson's policies. Mayor Brandon Johnson is the sickness that is destroying Chicago, Carly.
Yeah, and you know what else is a sickness?
Delusional.
Something that's going on with children right now, because kids appear to be out of control in Chicago.
Right.
When it comes to this, it should have been a beautiful tree lighting, and it ended in a death of a teenager and other teens shot. And not only that, last week we saw that viral video of the mother and her 2 young children getting beaten up by Chicago children as well. So what's going on when it comes to the kids?
Carly, once again, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And by the way, this was not on the South Side where I grew up. This was on State Street, that great street that Frank Sinatra used to talk about all the time, Old Blue Eyes, right? Right in front of the Chicago Theater, where I just went to go see, a show, a few nights before. This is happening all over the city of Chicago now.
It's nothing new though. Like this isn't news. The city of Chicago been had wild, rambunctious youth. Like they're known. Dude from the South Side, he should know. But I won't even call it particular to certain neighborhoods or hoods, because a lot of these YNs, so to speak, or these, you know, these very problematic youth are running the city rampant. I'm not sure Chicagoan, but it's like it's just it's common sense. These kids tend to run the city rampant, tend to find themselves are capable of being able to get into trouble in different parts of the city. Trouble doesn't have a certain geographical location. It's kind of wherever you seem to muster it up. But I think the youth has never really had any guidance or direction in Chicago. This has been a known fact. So to say it's any worse or it's getting better, I highly doubt that.
It used to be that summer was the violent black teenager season in Chicago. Now it's Christmas season, Christmas time. The Christmas tree lighting ceremony is now synonymous with violent black teenagers rampaging through the streets of Chicago, shooting people, shooting at each other. But of course, they have notoriously bad aim, marksmanship. So of course, any person on the sidewalk is fair game to be shot by these violent black teenagers, Carly.
It's a tragic situation, and President Trump is offering federal intervention. That offer is still on the table. We'll see if anybody in Chicago takes it up.
The violent
William
black
Kelly, thank
teenagers.
you so much for joining us.
God bless you, Carly.
It's a pandemic, like y'all. But sad to say, Chicago's one of them cities that's always been in the dumps, and it's been in the dumps for a while. The mayor's trash. This egalitarian mindset, and we're all okay as long as we hold hands in kumbaya. No real parameters being set. That's why Trump wanted to sweep through the city with his own little task force to handle business. We see how crime got pretty much cut in half over in Memphis when their little task force made their little rounds. I'm not sure if they hit Chicago as hard. I heard, Trump still got his little squads rolling through the cities and the certain neighborhoods, but they need to kind of double, triple down over there. Is what it sounds like. Chicago's just always been one of them places where the rah-rah don't tend to cease. So when he's talking about, oh, it's Christmas time, man. Christmas time is one of the highest crime seasons, right? People naturally are getting gifts and presents for their family, whether they're stealing them, whether they're robbing banks, whatever, and getting it in cash in order to pay, or stealing gifts as it is. It's common. Crime doesn't have a season. So comment down below, man. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless. We'll see you on the next video.